Listen to your favorite shows live and on demand 24/7. Download the 77 WABC mobile app now. A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
And joining us now is Rich Lowry, the editor-in-chief of National Review. Rich, you wrote a really powerful column about Kamala Harris' threat to America. Explain.
Yeah, look, she wants to pack the Supreme Court. She wants to end the Senate filibuster. There's no institution in American government or life that she truly respects. She's further left than any president we've ever had. If she wins election, she'll govern further to the left to Barack Obama. She is totally in on DEI. She is totally in on the 1619 Project and his poisonous view of American history, just on and on and on. So she is a menace. She's being perfumed by the media, of course, over the last 2 weeks, and they'll try to do that the next 3 months. I don't think it'll last or they'll succeed, but it's a threat.
You know, it's incredible because one of the things that they just put out a video, the Kamala Harris team, and it's saying how tough she is on the border, what a tough prosecutor she is. Like you just said, they're trying to rewrite history. And yet at the same time, we have her on videotape talking about how they should reimagine policing and supporting, the Minnesota Freedom Fund. I mean, it's incredible to see the political gamesmanship.
Yeah, there are about 10 things she's changed on just the last couple of days that she said in 2019 and 2020 with no real explanation, nothing from her. They do it by surrogates or staffers or press statements. And now she's out, as you point out, with this ad saying that she's tougher on the border than Donald Trump. I mean, it's a grotesque lie. It's sociopathic. There are millions and millions of additional illegal immigrants in this country because of what she and Joe Biden did, whereas they had inherited a border that was under control because Trump figured it out towards the end of his presidency. So, I mean, there are no words for it, Rita. Orwellian is an understatement.
Yeah, I almost thought it was like a misprint when I heard it. I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be true. Judge Weinberg.
Good to talk to you again, Rich. Let me ask you this question. How do you account for this big bump that she's gotten in the polls? It's mind-boggling to me because she 2 weeks ago was less popular than Joe Biden.
Yeah, I know. Well, a lot of it has to do with the media honeymoon. She was a disappointing vice president as of like a month ago, and now she's one of the most promising political figures in American history. But also, I think Democrats are just relieved that, they had an 81-year-old man who clearly wasn't up for it. They all believed that he wasn't up for it, even the Democrats, and he's gone, he's out of the picture. So she's brought home a lot of Democrats, and because it's an evenly divided country, you do that, and the race gets really narrow again. And I think we should brace ourselves. There's a good chance she'll be ahead in the polls after the Democratic convention, and then we'll have to see where the race settles out. And it wouldn't surprise me if it settles out as a tie or Trump back ahead a little bit, but there's no doubt the race is back on.
Also one of the other issues is, as we talk about the border, she's also on, talking about how anybody who crosses the border, that they're not illegal. And even Elizabeth Warren has come out and said that she is going to be, she meaning Kamala Harris, is going to be like a gem for them, pushing for a pathway to citizenship for like 10 to 20 million people? I mean, this is amazing.
Yeah, she wanted to decriminalize illegal immigration. She wanted to give all sorts of benefits to illegal immigrants, and she favored a mass amnesty. And every indication, I don't think she's backed off of that. Every indication is she'd amnesty everyone who's come in the last couple of years. So again, that she is portraying herself as some sort of border hawk is one of the most blatant political lies we've heard in the last 3 decades, and we've heard a lot.
And by the way, speaking of sort of the, the transformation, the revisionist history, did you see this, Rich Lowry, that on Google and Meta, which owns Facebook, they actually, they said, oh, we're so sorry. It must have been some mistake, some innocent mistake. But it turned out some of the search engines didn't go if you looked it up. And if you looked up Trump assassination, it came out to fiction. I mean, and then the famous shot where he has his hands up saying fight, fight, fight right after that attempted assassination. They said, oh, no, it wasn't going to the picture, that we can't show that picture. I mean, this is incredible. It reminds me of the laptop.
Rita, I am afraid that this artificial intelligence and these Googles of the world they're not going to control history. They're going to control what the truth is.
Yeah, that's scary. Very scary.
Rich, what say you about this?
Well, they always say it's an innocent mistake, but all the innocent mistakes always go one way, right? They're never going to make an innocent mistake that harms the political chances of Kamala Harris. It seems as though the Google thing has been fixed. I just Googled ASSA on my laptop here in my office, and the assassination attempt on President Trump came right up. So the complaints made a difference, but people had to notice it and complain, and they've created a number of fake narratives, right? One was that Joe Biden was up for the job, right? They went with that fake narrative and got away with it for a fairly long time. Then the debate made it unsustainable. Now we're into this new fake narrative that Kamala Harris is a unique political talent and some sort of moderate, and they'll try to get away with that. So just the way our media life works now, you just can't believe anything the mainstream media is telling you. There's some good reporters and good work, but the narrative overwhelms all, and the narrative is meant to defeat Donald Trump and elect Kamala Harris.
Rich, this is Rudy Washington. Wait until we begin to see the deep fakes against Republicans. And I never underestimate people's ability to rationalize. All you have to do is tell someone a lie close to what they want to believe, and they grab onto it. And they do that every 4 years. They demonize. I said that President Trump never had one day in his presidency where it was a good day, and people gave him credit for what he had accomplished. Not one day. I mean, so the media spend 4 years attacking this man, demonizing him, making him a racist and everything else. It has an impact. And I said earlier in the show, don't underestimate their ability to pull this off. I agree with you. There basically wasn't a good news cycle the entire Trump presidency, but now people look back and his retrospective job approvals over 50%, and he can make the case against Kamala Harris. He's going to have to punch through all the media nonsense, but the case is there. She's dangerously liberal, as I said in that border ad, which is pretty good. They launched yesterday. They need to keep on making that case, and then she'll move off all that stuff, and have to explain why she's disavowed it, and then they can attack her as a phony. This is actually a very tried and true Republican playbook. We've seen it work, time and again over the last 40 years. They just need to execute on it.
What do you make also, Rich Lowry, of the fact that just the vitriol that we're hearing also? Because remember they said, we're going to back off after what happened, the assassination attempt. She called him a predator last night. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it lasted 48 hours. It was always obvious they weren't going to stick to this higher toned politics they promised after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. But, Trump's a street fighter too, and he's got to be in this thing. And just, as I say, hang the Biden record around her neck, hang her positions from 19 and 20 around her neck, and let her explain why she was saying things that she didn't believe, and then call her a phony and empty vessel. It's a winnable race. I still favor him. It's just a tougher race now.
Rich Lowry, we got a minute left. What do you want to tell the American people?
This is a great and good country, and we need to believe in America. And I think Kamala Harris doesn't. I think she has the poisonous left-wing woke view of America, and that suffuses everything she does and every position she takes, and it is a threat to the integrity of this country.
Well, Rich Lowry, thank you so much. Great columns, as always, there in the National Review. We love having you, the editor-in-chief there. Rich, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rita. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.